All right, gang, today is our live workout. I have a special guest star, Michael, with me today. All you're gonna need is a red band and the floor, so let's get to work. We're gonna start with our TA taps. So we're gonna come down onto our hands and knees. Feet are 4 inches apart, parallel. Hands are just about shoulder width distance, flat like starfish. Now you're gonna keep the tops of your feet and your shins connected to the mat. Look straight down at the mat and then nod your chin to look at your knees. Gently round just the upper back. Try not to change your pelvis very much. So we're not going into a full cat. It's just an upper back rounding. Give me some breath in those elbows, and on your next inhale breath, we're gonna hover just the fabric of your pants off of the mat. Hold and breathe. Think about a hammock under those ribs, and then gently set the knees back down. Exhale to prepare. Inhale again. A super small lift and hover. This is how we find the deep abdominal connection, the transverse abdominis, and go ahead and set it back down. As you're working, try to make sure you're not shifting back to pick your body up. So we want to do that lift straight up. We're finding that deep curl through the upper back. We're lifting from under the lowest ribs. That's it, beautiful. And then setting it back down. It can be really tempting to want to lift your knees up higher to get more, right? But I want you to challenge yourself to just lift the tiniest bit. And that's how we're going to get that hammock sensation under our abdominals, finding that deep connection rather than going quickly gripping into the rectus abdominis, our surface level of our abdominal muscles. Go ahead and switch your breath on the next few to finish it out. Try an exhale breath on the next one to lift and see how that changes your experience in your own body. I want you to really make this experience yours and find what works best for you. The goal here is to find that deep abdominal connection. It might be an exhale for you, it might be an inhale. So find what works best in your own body. We're gonna do 2 more. How you feeling over there, friend? Woo! Woo! All right, keep that chin nodding, looking towards the knees. Collarbones are wide. This is the last one. And gently set those knees down. All right, you guys, we're gonna flip straight over onto our backs. So flip straight forward, legs in front of you. We're gonna go into a shallow abdominal curl. Basically the same approach, but now coming from the bottom up rather than the top down. You ready? We're gonna lay all the way down, legs long in front of you. And we're gonna take our hands underneath the base of our skull, interlaced like a hammock. Elbows should be visible from the corners of your eyes. And all we're gonna do is think about our head reaching through the wall behind us as we inhale and do a shallow curl up. Shoulder blades peel off of the mat, but your low back does not change. And then we're gonna exhale as we lower down. I felt it on the first one. I'm hoping you did too. Inhale as you traction and reach, lengthening back rather than up. Think about an long rather than height. Inhale, traction the spine, keep the pelvis quiet as we work. Find that inhale breath and exhale to lower down. Less about height, more like a hammock, really reaching through the wall behind you the whole time. We're gonna do 1 more like this and hold. Let's hold this next one up. We're holding and breathing. And now we're gonna think about reaching through the wall. So we're gonna go down a tiny bit, reach through the wall and then come back up. Oh, I'm shaking like crazy. Reach through the wall and come back up. It's that tractioning length sensation. The pelvis is quiet, the low back is quiet. Find that reach with your breath. It's not just a down up, it's a stretch and a reach. Last 2, we're gonna go into a side plank on our forearm. Last one, bring it all the way down. Nice. All right, from here, we're gonna bring our right forearm down onto the mat, and we're gonna cross our right foot in front of our left. So this is our starting position. If this is a good challenge for you, stay here. We're gonna take the left hand behind the base of our skull, and again, you should see the elbow from the corner of your eye. All we're gonna do is basically a crisscross, but elevated on the side. Here we go. We're gonna inhale as we rotate. Pelvis doesn't change. Exhale to unwind. So think about your left ribs and your left shoulder blade spiraling towards the floor. Keep your right hip reaching forward. and then unwind. It's a small range of movement, but it's so deep, right through the waistline. You feeling that, Michael?
Yes.
Oh yeah, here we go. We're inhaling as we spiral. Find that reach and that length. The world should be at a diagonal. Your view of the world should be at a diagonal, not straight up and down. So get your head in line with your spine. Think about lifting off of that elbow and shoulder. Think about that left shoulder blade initiating the movement. The ribs follow. Let's go for 2 more here. This is going to be our last one. And go ahead and set the hips down. We're gonna go into a little mermaid sweep. We're gonna use that red band now. So bring your right hip to the floor and the left knee behind you. Oftentimes I hear that this is a tough ask, right? To get that right hip down. You can always use a little prop and slide it under your hip to give you a little more room if that feels better in your body. Do you want one or you feel okay?
I'm good.
You're good. All right, so that's always an option, a little stack of books or a yoga block. Grab your red band, and we're gonna take it into our hands, and we're gonna go into a little mermaid arc. So float the arms up and overhead, plug the arms down into the ribs, ribs funnel into the pelvis, and then we're gonna inhale as we arc, exhale as we rise. Inhale as we arc, fanning the left ribs, reach the left hip through the floor, exhale, bring it up. So it's a small range of movement. Now we're going into a side flexion on the inhale, exhale, bring it up. Think about your body staying in between 2 panes of glass. So rather than thinking about just the distance you're traveling, sometimes what that can do, I'm gonna show you from the profile, what it can do is it can cause us to twist and rotate. I'm not asking for that. I'd like you to keep your spine in between 2 imaginary panes of glass so you're only going in side flexion rather than a rotation. Let's go for 2 more here. We're gonna change it up. We're gonna go into a little tricep focus. And let's hold the next one in our flexion. We're gonna take the right arm, bring it down to the floor. The right elbow is gonna come down to the floor. Now we're in deep flexion. Check your ribs that they didn't spin towards the floor, that we're still stacked. And now we're gonna take an overhead tricep. Inhale, left arm comes long. Exhale, bring that elbow bent. Inhale, bring it long. Exhale, bring it bent. Now if that red band is getting in your way, you can slide your right hand forward just an inch or 2, and then that's gonna give you a little more space. You can look down at your right forearm, and that's gonna move your face out of the way of that red band as well. Think about fanning those left ribs a little bit more. Really find that waistline challenge as we work through the triceps. Inhale as we extend, exhale as we bend. Let's go for 3. This is gonna be 2. This is the last one. We're gonna keep our hips where they are, but set the band down for just a second. And now we're gonna put our right hand onto the floor and come up into an elevated position. We're gonna go into some leg taps. So what we're gonna do is keep the leg parallel. We're gonna float it up, and then we're gonna tap it down. Small range of movement. We're not moving the pelvis, so we don't want to see the hips drop and rock as we move, yeah? We're lifting off of that right shoulder. That right arm is already getting a little heat to it from the work we were just doing. We're inhaling as we reach. Additional challenge, you can bring the left hand up to the sky. Inhale, think about length through that left leg as the inner thigh spirals to the floor. Last 2, we're gonna change it up. Here we go. Last one, hold. Hold the left leg up. Sweep it forward, just coming off of your mat, not too far. Now we're gonna spin that inner thigh back. Now we're in an internal rotation, yeah? And then we're gonna do a little lift from there, getting right into that glute med, giving us power through the hip and lifting up that booty at the same time. So it's not about those toes shining down, it's about that inner thigh spiraling back. Let's go for 4. This is gonna be 3, lifting off of the elbow and the wrist. This is 2. And last one, bring both knees down. Nice job. All right, we're gonna take our band with us and come on up. We're gonna go into a little diagonal sling exploration. So we're gonna turn to face the end of the mat, and we're gonna place that band under the arch of our left foot. You can put it actually maybe under the ball of the foot for a little more security in that hold. Step forward a tiny touch, there you go. And then we're gonna take the band into the right hand. So we have left foot, right hand working a diagonal sling. Right hand is up in front of us. Take a nice step back with your right foot. Left foot is flat, right foot is up on the ball of the foot. And we're gonna exhale as we soften both knees and lower straight down. That's an exhale breath here. And then we're gonna inhale to raise. Exhale as we lower. Think about scissoring the upper inner thighs. Inhale as you bring it up. If you'd like to layer on with that band, what you can do is we lower down, we're gonna sweep the right arm out to the side, and it's gonna find tension on that loop. Inhale to raise. Exhale as we sweep. Inhale to raise. Keep working at your own pace. Let's make sure we're not riding the knee joint. It can be kind of easy in lunges to just kind of phone it in a little bit and bounce through the knees like this. That's not what we're after. I want you to really find that inner thigh connection and use your breath to decelerate you on the way down. So as we lower down, think about that left inner thigh spiraling up to the sky. So that's an up-bound spiral. Inhale to raise. And oppositionally, the right inner thigh is spiraling back. So they are turning in opposition to each other, which is going to connect you and bring you closer to the midline of your body. Do you feel that happening? Good. Exhaling down. Let's hold this next one down. Both knees are bent a lot. And I'm just going to make a small adjustment in Michael's body. I want his sternum right over his heart to come forward a tiny touch. Yeah, there it is. Do you feel the core catching you so much more? So try not to lean back, which is also really tempting in a lunge. We're just holding and breathing. Let's find connection to the inner line of the left leg. So big toe, second toe is down. And let's see if we can get that inner thigh connected. Bring it maybe 1/4 of an inch closer to the middle line of your body. There it is, so good. We have our ball of foot on that on the left foot down on that band. So we're gonna peel the left heel up without losing that connection. So nice. What's happening to the sternum? Did it drop back when the heel raised up? We're just holding and breathing. Isometric challenge for 4, 3. Are we excited? 2. And heel goes down. Inhale, rise up. So nice, beautiful job. All right. From here, guys, we're gonna go into a little plie situation. I love this one. It's so nice for shoulders, especially in the days of Zoom. All right, so we're gonna come into a nice wide stance, wider than our shoulders. We're gonna keep our palms down, and you just wanna have a little bit of resistance, not too tight on that band. Straight away, we're gonna lower into our plie. Spiral the inner thighs forward. So if this is a good challenge for you, keep your feet flat. If you're looking for additional challenge with balance, you can peel both heels up, maybe 1/2 inch or so, keeping all 10 toes melting into the floor. I'm wanting to lean into my pinky toes straight away. So see if you can kind of check in with your body. Are you pouring into the inner foot, the outer foot, or can you keep it all balanced? Aim for balance. All right, here we go. We are going to exhale to prepare. And then we're gonna inhale, float the arms up and overhead, collarbones are wide. Exhale as the arms sweep behind you. Do you have enough room over there? Good. Inhale as we float up and overhead. Exhale as we lower down. Think about those inner thighs spiraling forward, working at your own pace for your breath. It's an inhale as we come up, and it's an exhale as we lower. If that doesn't feel accessible to your shoulders, you can always stop straight overhead rather than going all the way behind you. So that works too. Keep working on your end. I want to make a note about the ribs and what's happening to the body as we take that band up and over. As we come overhead with the arms, it can be tempting to allow the low back to shorten and the ribs to arch forward like this. That's not what we want to do. We want to keep everything organized. So keep a neutral pelvis and keep the ribs soft. If that means you need a bend in the elbows, go for it. But we want to stay organized so that doesn't change its position as we mobilize through the shoulders. All right, we're gonna hold this next one and we're gonna hold it at about chest height, hold and breathe. And now I'm gonna ask everyone to bring both heels down. Can you get a little bit lower in that plie spiral, those inner thighs forward, keep the tailbone hanging heavy. And what we're gonna do is pick up the left heel only as we rotate towards the left, holding here. We're gonna do a small rotation and unwind, a small rotation and unwind. Keep it tiny. Keep that left hip reaching for the floor, that left inner thigh spiraling up. Play around with your heel height. Are you finding shake through that left leg? If not, lower or raise your heel a teeny tiny bit. Last 2. We're not going anywhere. Hold this next one, heel goes down. Unwind on an exhale. Inhale, right heel picks up. Rotate to the right, hold the heel up, and then we're gonna do little tiny rotations. So think about your ribs winding up and unwinding. I'm gonna give you one of my favorite tips when we do a small range of movement. Think about moving small, like maybe 1/4 of an inch, one of the turns, and then maybe 1 millimeter the next turn. If we give our brain something different, a different distance to aim for, what we can find is more effort, more results in the work, rather than just kind of bouncing through the exact same range of movement every time. Let's go for one more. Heel goes down, and then we unwind, bring it to the center. Let's take care of that lunge on the other side. All right, so we're gonna take the right foot forward this time. Step onto that band with the ball of the foot. That's gonna keep it securely on your mat. And then straight away, we're gonna take the left hand into the band. Left foot takes a step back. We're just gonna start with the left hand straight forward. We're gonna go down and up just a few times here. Exhale as both knees soften. Inhale as we raise. Again, think about that right inner thigh spiraling up as the left inner thigh spirals back. Inhale to raise, find your breath here. Exhale, decelerate that movement. Let's layer on that left arm reaching outbound. So it looks like this. The left arm goes out to the side as you lower and comes back through center. So we're working through the left shoulder across to that right hip, finding the diagonal sling of muscles. Keep working on your end. I'm gonna demonstrate it straight on so you know where that range of movement is and what it looks like. So if we're going down into the lunge, it goes out to the side like this. So it's not a rotation through the ribs, it's just a sweep outbound. Keeping that right hip reaching back. Let's go for 3 more here. Again, can you find that connection to that right big toe, second toe, staying down, connected to the floor, and find that line to the inner thigh of the right leg. Hold this next one down. We're just gonna find equal weight across the sole of the foot. Have you lost the connection to the heel? Recruit those glutes with your heel, keeping the forefoot all the way down. I like to think about the femur bone, this thigh bone. Can we stretch it? Can we internally stretch it? Did you see Michael's hip just drop? That's beautiful, so good. And now we're gonna peel the right heel up. We're still doing an isometric hold. Oh, that shake is everything. That shake is everything. All right, guys, keep breathing for me. Last 3, so good. This is 2, stay with me. Heel goes down, come on up. Beautiful job, so nice. All right, we're gonna go into the side mermaid on the left. I'm actually gonna switch that. We're gonna go into the crisscross on the left first, then we'll get into those mermaids. So bring your left forearm down, and we're gonna bring our left foot in front of our right. We're gonna take the right hand behind the base of the skull and lengthen your body all the way up into your side plank position. This is a good challenge, stay here. If you're looking for more, what we're gonna do is inhale, rotate the shoulder blade, then the ribs towards the mat, and then we're going to exhale to unwind. Inhale as we rotate, lifting off of that shoulder and elbow, exhale to unwind. So move at your own pace. You should be seeing your right elbow from the corner of your right eye. Use that hand to traction the spine, find that length. We wanna make sure we're not allowing the hips to drop. So we don't want that left hip to drop. We wanna find a beautiful diagonal. And again, you can think about that left inner thigh spiraling forward as the right inner thigh spirals back. If you visualize those bones doing that, you're gonna find deeper low belly connection. Let's go for 2 more. Easy peasy, right, Michael? Oh. It's nothing short of a miracle. We're still friends. And here we go, last one. And bring your left hip down. Gorgeous. All right, we're gonna go into that mermaid sit. Again, if you need a little prop under your left hip, go ahead and grab it. And it might be different for every side of the body, that's fine. So pay attention to your body and what works for you. We're gonna go into our side flexion first. Hands come up and overhead, funnel the ribs down into the pelvis, nice broad collarbones. Here we go. We're gonna inhale as we arc, fanning the right ribs. Exhale as we bring it back. Inhale, head is in line with the spine, find that side flexion. Exhale as we bring it back. Now every side of the body might feel a little bit different, just honor what's going on. I'm feeling in my right ribs I have less mobility than I do in my left. So I'm focusing on my breath to see if I can add more mobility with that inhale rather than just trying to force it or rotate to achieve more. Find it with your breath and stay organized. Inhale to arc. Exhale to bring it back. We're gonna go for 3 more like this. Remember those panes of glass we talked about on the other side? And think about that right hip anchoring down. It's gonna wanna climb as you bend. Think about it anchoring down the whole time. This next one, we're gonna arc all the way over, all the way down. Left elbow and forearm come down onto the mat. And I'm gonna choke up on my band a little bit. You can choose how much resistance you have. And then we're gonna take that right arm long. That's an inhale breath. And also send that fanning breath into the right ribs. So think about opening the right ribs while we work. Inhale to extend, exhale to soften. Again, if you're finding that your face is fighting with that band, you can move your left hand a little bit and you can gaze down at your left forearm, and that'll give you a little more breathing room there, literally and figuratively. Right shoulder blade melting down the back line of the body. I'm gonna adjust my elbow position. Find what feels good and supportive for you. Let's go for 2 more. We're gonna go into those leg taps next. This is our last one here. And bring the band all the way down. Okay, we're gonna bring our left hand flat onto the mat, and we're gonna bring our left shin down and our right leg long. All right, here we go. Keeping parallel to start with, we are going to send that left leg long on an inhale breath. And then we're gonna exhale as we tap it down. You can always bring the right arm up for more challenge if you'd like to. It's an inhale, beautiful, and then an exhale. Front side of the ankle is open, inner thigh is spiraling down towards the floor, keeping the pelvis nice and quiet. Reaching for length rather than height. Let's go for 2 more like this, and then we're gonna layer on, going into that internal rotation, really targeting that glute med connection. All right, we're gonna hold this next one up, hold, then we're gonna sweep the leg forward just in front of the mat. We're gonna swivel the inner thigh, but try not to let the pelvis track with you, and then it's a little lift from here in an internal rotation. Think about stretching that leg. It really fires into that glute med all the way up to the waistline. You can gaze to the floor if you're feeling any tension in the neck. Reach that right hip long, spiral that right inner thigh back. Go for 3 more here. This is 2. And this is our last one. Bring the leg all the way down. All right, let's grab that band again. We're gonna go into a little teaser hold and use that band to give us some support and some feedback through the arms and middle back. So take the band flat under the arches of the feet. We're gonna hold onto the band and find a really tall seated position first. We're gonna magnetize those outer thighs, kind of roll those shoulders down and back, lift the pelvis, or lift the ribs off of the pelvis rather. And on your exhale breath, use the band to assist you. You're gonna tip back just a little bit as you pick up the legs and come into your best teaser position. And we're gonna do an isometric challenge here today, holding and breathing. So the idea is we really wanna feel the thighs sinking heavily into the pelvis. We don't want to feel a lot of gripping on the front side of the body, and the red band can assist us in doing so. We're lifting the ribs off of the pelvis. We're allowing the band to give us the feedback to plug the thighs deeply into the pelvis. Hold and breathe, guys. So good. Magnetize those outer thighs. Exhale, narrowing the ribs around the spine. Inhale with length. Let's go for 5 more seconds, and then we're gonna keep that band, but go into a leg extension. Here we go for 3. We're gonna bring our elbows to the floor, keeping the band in 2. Keep the knees bent. You can walk your hands back so you have less tail hanging off the end. Our elbows go down onto the floor. We're still holding a knee bent position. Forearms are up. You got it, you got it. Here we go. On an inhale breath, we lengthen the legs out. On the exhale, let's tip our knees to the left as we drag the legs back in. That's an exhale. Keep your heels at the same height as your knees. Inhale through center. Exhale, tip the knees to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, tip the knees to the left. So the pelvis is gonna stay quiet. We're swiveling through the tops of the thighs. You guys know I love me a good downhill ski moment. So this is our downhill ski moment for the day. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, bring it long. You're just lucky I'm not asking for a 360-degree plank moment today. Exhale as we bring it in. Inhale, send it long. Can you lift off of the elbows? Can you really reach the spine? So beautiful. Exhale to bring it in. This is last time to the left. Here we go through the center. Last time to the right. Inhale, hold and breathe for 6, for 5, lifting off the elbows for 4, so good, for 3, this is 2, and let it all the way down. All right, keep your band there and set your head all the way down onto the mat. Let me move the yoga blocks for you. All right, from here, guys, it is time for us to stretch it out. We made it. So what we're gonna do is just remove the right foot only. So now the left leg has the band, and we're gonna go into a hip circle here. So take 2 stretches of the band into your left hand, the left leg goes straight up to the sky. Right arm is long at your side, and I'm gonna bring my left elbow down. Here we go. We are going to inhale as we sweep the left leg outbound. Exhale, bring it through center and back straight up to the sky. Outbound and sweep it through center. For the next few, let's make sure we stay parallel. It's really easy to kind of drop into an external rotation, letting the toes tip out. But think of your foot like a railroad track, staying straight up and down. Swiveling out to the side. Let's go for one more like that. Bring it all the way up, hold. We're gonna do a little micro bend and extend, a little fascial flossing. So try not to lower your foot in space. You might say that I'm shaking like crazy. That's lubricating the fascia and really opening up the back line of the body, improving functionality and hydrating the fascia that is inside of our skin. Movement hydrates the fascia. So it's really helping to open up our flexibility as we do this. Keep it smaller than you think it needs to be. Last 2. And let's take that left leg outbound into a happy baby. I'm choking up on that band a little bit more, and I'm taking the knee out to the side, an external rotation. Sole is straight, sole of the foot is straight up to the sky. And go ahead and bring your left foot back up to the sky, and we're gonna bring both feet into the band. Just take a nice breath here. Do you notice how much longer that left leg feels? Feels like mine is like 3 inches longer than my right foot. How about you? Isn't that nice? I used to be the person who would rush out of class and not stretch. I don't got time for that, I'm here to work. And now I know better. So learn from my mistakes, my friends. Okay, take that left foot out. Left foot goes long. And we're just gonna hold that right leg for a minute. Also think about that release across the front of that left hip. That feels delicious too. And we're gonna go into circles. I'm gonna try not to kick Michael. We're gonna do a few circles outbound. Think about moving from the top of the thigh rather than from your foot or the red band. How am I doing? Did I kick you? Phew. All right, for the next few, we're gonna stay parallel. So think about your toes shining straight up to the sky. Thinking about moving again from the top of the thigh bone. It's really massaging, improving flexibility and power through that hip. We're gonna go into that fascial floss next. So right foot goes up to the sky, and we're gonna do a tiny bend and a tiny extend. See if you cannot move your foot in space. See if you cannot move that band in space. So give you the feedback to keep your foot quiet and really just a baby bend in the knee. It should feel quite shaky if you're finding that access. It's not gonna look like this. I don't wanna see a big knee bend. That's getting into more gross motor function, getting into hamstring effort, and I'm more after this fascial flossing. It's like that, you can think of it like when you get a fancy pear at the holidays and it's that netting around it. That's what your fascia is inside your skin. All right, here we go. We're gonna take that right knee outbound. I'm choking up on that band to give me a little more support. Find a deeper stretch here. Sole of your foot is up to the sky. Take a nice breath. Allow that thigh bone to sink deeply into the pelvis. One more time, right leg goes long. Last time, both feet come into that band. And just do a self-check. Oh, now the legs are even again. Isn't that nice? Deep breath here. Go ahead and fold the knees in. We're gonna remove that band, hug your knees. Last bit here today. You can close your eyes, exhale any lingering tension you might be holding in your mind, in your spirit, or in your body. Inhale gratitude for your health and for movement together. And when you're ready, go ahead and lower your feet to the floor and come on up. What a treat to have Michael here with me today. Thanks for joining us, guys. We will see you next time.